Covera trend reports. Russia's massive fines against Google. $2.5 million. Russia has imposed staggering fines on Google, amounting to unprecedented sums, over disputes involving blocked YouTube accounts of Russian media. As tensions between Google and Russia's legal system escalate, these fines have ballooned to decillion-dollar figures, far exceeding the world's economic output. Here, we explore the background, events leading to the fines, Google's response, and the broader implications for tech companies and international law. In 2020, Google first faced lawsuits in Russia following the suspension of several YouTube accounts belonging to Russian state-affiliated media. Tsargrad TV, one of the first channels to be suspended, sued Google, marking the beginning of what would evolve into a high-stakes legal battle. Russia's courts ordered Google to restore these accounts, imposing daily fines for non-compliance. With Russia's sanctions intensifying, Google was instructed to lift restrictions on over a dozen accounts or face escalating penalties. Following the sanctions, fines were set to double weekly if the suspension continued, and with Google's ongoing refusal to comply, the fines reached astronomical sums. A Russian court has now imposed a fine of approximately $20.50 decillion, which is not only massive but likely unpayable given that it's multiple times the global GDP. The Russian government continues to enforce these fines, maintaining that Google's actions amount to unfair competition and misinformation control. Google's response has been to limit its business activities in Russia significantly. By 2022, it had declared bankruptcy for its Russian subsidiary, citing an inability to meet rising financial obligations. Since then, Google has restricted new account registrations in Russia and suspended ad services to comply with international sanctions. These measures, however, have done little to lessen Russian legal penalties. The case raises questions about sovereignty and regulatory power in an increasingly digital world. Russia's use of fines as a tool to assert control over digital platforms is setting a unique precedent. Tech companies may now need to account for diverse regulatory landscapes that extend beyond traditional financial risks, especially in politically sensitive regions. For Google and similar tech giants, it demonstrates how conflicts over information access and censorship can rapidly escalate into massive financial liabilities. In response to the fines, Google has stated that these legal issues are unlikely to impact its global operations significantly. While fines continue to accumulate, the company's position is that it will not reinstate the accounts, citing the sanctions on Russia and its media. This ongoing dispute has implications for digital content governance, internet freedom, and regulatory sovereignty. Other global tech firms might be monitoring the situation closely to understand how to navigate international regulatory pressures effectively. The fines against Google showcase an unprecedented level of financial enforcement in the tech world, raising questions about the future of internet governance and the role of digital giants in managing information access across different jurisdictions. It underscores how tech companies are caught between adhering to international sanctions and facing local repercussions. The ultimate outcome of this case could reshape how tech companies operate in politically complex regions, forcing them to consider new strategies for compliance and information governance.